So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup.
No, this part is not alleged. Jay-Z and his team, they have been ducking and dodging, taking the DNA.
Beyonce's empire is built on a lie, and the receipts are finally leaking. Everyone assumed the fake baby bump, the elevator fight, and the whispered surrogacy rumors were just tabloid noise. Until the tape started circulating, the lawsuits piled up, and the people who used to protect her went silent. Right now, insiders are confirming what Wendy Williams warned about years ago. The pregnancy was staged. The scandals were buried. And the woman who knew too much didn't just disappear. She was erased. A 13-year-old's assault claim against Jay-Z gets withdrawn after a $20 million payout. A party witness places Beyonce in the room while a man was allegedly tortured. And a lawyer who saw the footage admits the bigger star on Diddy's tapes isn't him. It's someone still pretending to be untouchable. The problem isn't the accusations. It's the cover-up. Jay-Z's defamation war isn't about clearing his name. It's about buying time before the next leak drops. And the real question isn't whether Beyonce's marriage is over, but how much she's willing to pay to keep the rest of the truth from surfacing. Because the tapes aren't just coming, they're already being shopped. The witnesses are talking, and the only thing left is to see who gets sacrificed first.
But there are people who have been indicted in the public space, and it hasn't been true. And so I think Jay-Z's tone was exactly, but see, I saw Puffy say the same, and then a video came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
The $20 million payout wasn't just about silencing a lawsuit. It was about stopping a chain reaction. When the 13-year-old's accusation against Jay-Z surfaced, his legal team moved fast. But the damage wasn't in the claim itself, it was in the timing. This wasn't just another scandal. It felt like the first domino in a collapse that had been building for years. The accuser's story kept changing. First she said it happened. Then she recanted in a leaked recording. After that, she swore she had been pressured into lying. But the real red flag wasn't her inconsistency. It was how Jay-Z's team handled it. They didn't just deny the allegations. They filed a defamation lawsuit so aggressive it suggested they were fighting something bigger than one girl's word. Then there's the recording where she admits her lawyer pushed her to sue, followed by her sworn statement claiming she dropped the case out of fear. That's not how innocent situations usually unfold. That's how people act when they're trying to contain an explosion. Here's where it stops making sense. If the claim was false, why the panic? Why the $20 million in lost deals? Why launch a defamation war instead of simply walking away? People close to the situation say Jay-Z's team isn't just protecting him. They're protecting someone else. And that's when the whispers about Beyonce start. Because this isn't just Jay-Z's problem. It's hers too. The accuser's lawyer, Tony Busby, has a history of high-profile cases and a reputation for knowing where the bodies are buried. When he pushed this case, he wasn't just aiming at Jay-Z. He was testing how far Beyonce's team would go to keep the lid on. And they went all in. $20 million doesn't disappear over a dismissed lawsuit. That's the price of a career's worth of secrets. The real question isn't whether Jay-Z did what he's accused of. It's what else that $20 million was meant to bury.
No, let me know. And that's the problem that I have with this whole situation. But I am going to save this conversation for Jay-Z. Jay-Z, you're watching. I know you're watching, because you got people calling me. Stop having people call me. You can call me yourself. You know how to get my number. You know you got people calling me. Call me yourself, because this right here is going to go viral. The way my job works on the internet, everybody's going to be clipping, sharing on TikTok. Watch this.
The accuser's age at the time of the alleged incident, 13, should have made this a criminal matter, not a civil one. But no charges were ever filed. Instead, Jay-Z's lawyer called it a blackmail attempt and immediately went on the offensive. That's when the contradictions started piling up. The accuser's recording says one thing. Her sworn statement says another. And Jay-Z's team is acting like the truth is a threat to national security. Meanwhile, Beyonce's name keeps surfacing in the background. Not in the lawsuit, not in the headlines, but in the reactions. Insiders claim her team was the one pushing for the defamation suit, not Jay-Z's. That's not how this usually works. When a man is accused, his wife's team doesn't typically lead the counterattack, unless there's more at stake than just his reputation. That's when you start looking at the bigger picture. The Epstein files drop changed everything. A single line in a federal document allegedly placing Jay-Z present, while a woman was assaulted by Harvey Weinstein in 1996, suddenly made the $20 million payout look like a down payment. Because 1996 wasn't just any year. It was the year Jay-Z's debut album dropped, the year Beyonce was 15, the year before she met him. The implication isn't just that Jay-Z was in the wrong place at the wrong time, it's that he was there at all. And if he was there, who put him there? Weinstein wasn't just a predator. He was a gatekeeper, the kind of man who could make or break careers, the kind who didn't operate alone. People in the industry don't just end up in rooms like that by accident. They're invited. They're placed. And the question no one is asking is, who benefited from Jay-Z being in that room?
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious.
Then there's the party. Not just any party. A birthday celebration for Diddy's son in 2015, where a man claims he was incapacitated, humiliated, and forced into what he described as a punishment ritual. Beyonce wasn't just present. According to the lawsuit, she was in the room when it allegedly happened. She reportedly asked what a half-naked man was doing there. She heard the response, "This is what we do to snitches," and stayed. That, critics argue, isn't the behavior of someone who accidentally walked into the wrong event. It suggests awareness of the environment she was in. The lawsuit also names LeBron James as a witness, alleging he walked by in a towel and said, "Y'all better do something about that." But to many observers, LeBron's presence isn't the shocking part. It's Beyonce's. Because if true, this wouldn't be framed as a one-time mistake. It would be part of a larger pattern, and patterns don't stay hidden forever. The property owner, Gloria Estefan, denied the party ever happened. She stated that no events were held at the property between 2012 and 2019. However, the lawsuit doesn't just claim the party occurred. It describes the event in detail. The man alleges he was taken through a tunnel to Diddy's mansion, where he saw Jay-Z and Beyonce. Gloria Estefan's denial isn't just disagreement, it's a direct contradiction. And in cases like this, denials don't make allegations disappear. They often make people dig deeper. If the party didn't happen at her house, then where did it happen? And why is there such urgency to distance the property from the claim? Some believe the answer may lie in the alleged tapes, the ones Diddy reportedly kept, the ones now rumored to be circulating in Hollywood, the ones said to show more than just Diddy's behavior.
Times. But Diddy parties and Diddy After Dark are two different things. I want to go on record of saying I never saw Jay-Z at a Diddy After Dark party. Then again, I wasn't there. So I don't know who was there. But I know that I saw Jay-Z at the Diddy party.
Ariel Mitchell, a lawyer who was allegedly approached to broker the sale of one of those tapes, didn't just hint at their existence. She suggested the footage includes someone more high-profile than Diddy. She didn't reveal a name. She didn't have to. According to online speculation, the only person at that alleged party with more to lose than Diddy would be Beyonce. If such a tape exists, critics argue it wouldn't just be another scandal. It could be career-ending. Not something buried quietly, but something bought and contained. The kind of situation that would explain why $20 million reportedly vanished over a dismissed lawsuit. The kind of situation that would make someone like Beyonce consider an exit strategy.
And it was pretty much said like Jay doesn't really want awards. Well, he go to the Grammys.
Right.
He you know, come into the Black-owned spaces. Let's figure out how to work together so that way we have the relationship when it matters, not when it's convenient for you and your image. Because they all call us when the story.
The silence from Beyonce's camp has been louder than any denial. No major statements. No aggressive lawsuits. Just carefully staged photo ops and cryptic social media posts. Meanwhile, her sister Solange, the same Solange who confronted Jay-Z in that now infamous elevator incident, has remained quiet for years. Too quiet, some say. People close to the family claim her silence isn't just loyalty. It's strategic. They suggest she's staying quiet because she's being compensated to do so. And the moment that changes, she speaks. If true, that wouldn't be a family dynamic. It would be a business arrangement. And business arrangements tend to fall apart when the stakes get high enough. Right now, the stakes couldn't be higher. The $20 million isn't the real story. The real story is what comes next. The accuser's lawsuit was the first crack. The Epstein file mentions were the second. The party allegations were the third. And the tapes, if they exist, would be the earthquake. The question isn't just whether they're real. It's who has already seen them, and what they're willing to do to keep them hidden. If Beyonce's team is truly buying back damaging material, Critics argue they aren't just trying to save a marriage, they're trying to protect an empire. And empires don't usually fall because of enemies. They fall because of insiders, leaks, and timing. The most damning part, some say, isn't the accusations, it's the reactions. Jay-Z's defamation battle, Gloria Estefan's denial, Beyoncé's silence, Solange's patience. To skeptics, it all suggests they may be protecting something larger than themselves. And whatever that something is, critics argue it's worth more than $20 million. More than a career. Maybe even more than a marriage. But secrets that big don't stay buried forever. They get leaked. They get weaponized. They resurface at the worst possible time. Some believe the accuser's lawyer isn't the only one holding information. They claim federal agencies have files. They say witnesses are beginning to speak. They insist the tapes are out there. And if that's true, then time may be the one thing Beyoncé's team can't buy. Because silence isn't permanent. It's rented. And eventually the lease runs out.
And very, very honored that I got the response and the open heart, and people welcomed the album. The love I got from the country community tonight really made me feel so seen, and I'm very grateful.
The $20 million payout wasn't the first time Beyoncé's team allegedly moved to silence a threat. It was just the most expensive. People forget that Wendy Williams didn't start questioning the pregnancy rumors in 2011 because she enjoyed controversy. She did it because, in her view, the math didn't add up. A baby bump that appeared to deflate on live television. An entire hospital floor reportedly bought out for privacy. A surrogacy theory that refused to fade. Then there was Kathy White, a 28-year-old woman allegedly claiming she was carrying Jay-Z's child, who later died after reportedly threatening to expose the truth. Wendy Williams called it a scam for ticket sales. At the time, the public labeled her cruel. Now, some argue she may have been the only one paying attention. Critics claim the bump controversy wasn't just about image control, it was about damage control. And the damage, they argue, wasn't limited to Beyoncé's reputation. It threatened the entire system built to keep certain narratives intact. Here's where some say the pattern becomes harder to ignore. In 2014, Solange attacked Jay-Z in that elevator. Officially, it was framed as a private dispute, but critics claim it wasn't just about infidelity, it was about what came after. The cleanup, the payoffs, and the rapid effort by Beyoncé's team to contain the fallout before it spread. That's not sisterly rage, they argue. That's someone who understands the cost of silence and the pressure to maintain it. The same year, Wendy Williams doubled down on her pregnancy theories. The same year Kathy White's death was ruled an aneurysm. The same year critics claim Beyoncé's team began aggressively managing timelines and records. Coincidence? Some say no, not when you look at who benefits from the narrative staying intact. Because Beyoncé didn't just marry Jay-Z, she merged with his controversies. And when you merge with controversy, you don't just inherit the fame. You inherit the fallout.
Where you want it relaxed, but then after just a short amount of time, you can't wait to do something again?
I don't know how to relax.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't like to get a massage. I don't like to...
Oh.
No, I don't.
Oh, I like to get a massage.
Yeah, I go a little far. The only time I can really relax is on a boat, because then I have no excuse. I'm stuck, and I have to take care of myself.
Yeah.
The elevator incident wasn't an isolated meltdown. Some believe it was a warning. According to critics, Solange wasn't just defending her sister. She was protecting herself from becoming collateral damage in a machine that consumes anyone who threatens the brand. That machine, they argue, doesn't just silence critics. It silences family. The fact that Solange has remained quiet for years isn't seen by skeptics as loyalty. It's leverage. They believe that the moment Beyoncé's control slips, Solange won't just speak. She'll reveal everything. The surrogacy rumors. The alleged Kathy White cover-up. The way insiders claim she was treated more like a liability than a sister. That's not a family feud, critics argue. It's a business arrangement. And business arrangements tend to fall apart when the money runs out. Then there's the music. Beyoncé's 2016 album Lemonade wasn't just about infidelity. According to some interpretations, it was about survival. The lyrics in Sorry weren't just about Rachel Roy, critics claim. They were about a system that allows men like Jay-Z to operate freely while women manage the fallout behind the scenes. And Daughter? Some argue it isn't simply a love song to Blue Ivy. It's a layered confession. The kind you make when you're living inside a narrative you didn't create, but are required to perform. Because, as critics frame it, the woman who knew too much didn't just disappear. She became a warning. And some believe Beyoncé has been referencing that ever since.
did such a beautiful job, and I can't believe how natural she is, and I'm just proud of you. I'm so proud of you, and I can't believe how big and grown up you are, and I'm proud that she's gonna represent so many young brown girls around the world.
The industry doesn't just protect its own, it protects its secrets. And according to critics, Beyonce's secret isn't simply about surrogacy. It's about why certain narratives had to be controlled at all. The allegedly deflating bump, the reportedly bought-out hospital floor, the aggressive response toward anyone who questioned the story. That's not just image control, skeptics argue. It's damage control. And the damage wouldn't just affect her reputation. It would threaten the illusion of power she spent 2 decades building. Because power isn't just fame or money. It's influence. It's access. It's knowing who must remain silent to keep the structure standing. Critics argue the alleged tapes aren't just a Diddy problem. They're a Beyonce problem. Because if footage from that party exists as rumored, it wouldn't just show a disturbing ritual. It would show who was in the room and who chose not to leave. Some go further, claiming she didn't just remain silent, she participated. That's not mere complicity, they argue. That's ownership. And ownership doesn't disappear when the cameras stop rolling. It lingers when the empire begins to crack. From that perspective, the $20 million wasn't about protecting Jay-Z's reputation. It was about protecting Beyonce's. And $20 million, critics say, is small compared to what she stands to lose if the rest of the story ever surfaces.
I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
The real question isn't whether the tapes are real. The real question is who has already seen them and what they're willing to do with that information. Right now, someone is deciding how much to pay for silence. Someone else is deciding whether to leak the footage or sell it. And Beyonce? She's deciding how fast she can run. But you can't outrun a story this big. Not when witnesses are talking. Not when the FBI has the files. Not when the people who were silenced are finally realizing they have nothing left to lose. The $20 million wasn't the end. It was just the opening bid. The real auction is only getting started. The industry's silence isn't just complicity. It's survival. Because if Beyonce goes down, she won't be going alone. The managers who scrubbed timelines. The publicists who allegedly paid off witnesses. The artists who attended those events and never said a word. They're all connected to this and they all know it. That's why no one is talking about LeBron's towel cameo. That's why Rihanna's name in the Cassie lawsuit seemed to disappear. That's why Gloria Estefan's team is denying details about the party location. This isn't just Beyonce's secret. There's two. And the moment one person starts talking, the entire structure begins to unravel.
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
The most telling part of this situation isn't what's been said. It's what hasn't. There have been no strong denials from Beyonce's camp. No aggressive lawsuits against witnesses. Instead, there's a carefully staged photo here, a cryptic social media post there. That's not confidence. That's damage control, the kind you implement when you feel the walls closing in. The $20 million wasn't the conclusion of this story. It was the beginning. The tapes are still out there. The witnesses are still speaking. And the people who once protected Beyonce may be starting to question which side they're really on. The fake bump controversy. The elevator incident. The Kathy White tragedy. The party allegations. The tapes. None of it feels isolated. Forms a pattern. And patterns don't stay hidden forever. They get exposed. They get weaponized. They get used against you. Right now, someone is holding all the pieces. And Beyonce's team is running out of moves. Because silence can't be bought forever. It can only be rented. And the lease may be running out.
We were talking earlier, it feels different to be married. It really does. And it feels good, doesn't it?
It was great.
And how long were you and Jay-Z together before you got married?
Oh gosh, listen to me. I'm about to start yapping. We've been together a long time. It's been about 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
7 years. But it does feel different, doesn't
The
it?
accuser's lawsuit was the first crack. The files were the second. The party allegations were the third. The tapes? They're the earthquake. And Beyonce isn't just watching it unfold. She's part of it. The question isn't whether her empire could fall. The question is who falls with her. Because this isn't just a scandal. It's a potential collapse. And collapses don't happen quietly. They happen in courtrooms, in leaked footage, in testimony from witnesses who finally decide they're no longer afraid. The only question left is, who speaks first?
Remember Diddy and Jay, inseparable at the party. They just probably best friends. They probably both grew up in New York. They're New Yorkers. I don't know their relationship. I don't know what business they got going on, but they are really close with one another. They are friends.
So what do you think is really on those tapes? Who is the bigger star Ariel Mitchell was hinting at? Why is Beyonce's team so determined to keep this hidden? Was Wendy Williams right all along? Or is there something even darker beneath the surface? And if Beyonce is planning an escape, where does she go when the entire world is watching? Drop your theories below because this story isn't over. It's just beginning. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.